Expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Mindset Marketing Mastery, the show that brings you the top speakers in the marketing and video industry. With your host, Marie Mason.
Hi, and welcome to Liberty Virtual Solutions. We present our podcast series called Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show. I am your host, Marie Mason.
Yes, you are. On TV. We're on TV.
Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, this is like a dream come true. I didn't think this would ever happen, but it's happening. So, and then you get to be part of it, which is really cool. And I'm so happy you're my co-host. So you're my lovely and talented co-host, and her name happens to be Cheryl Bernstein.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here with you visually, audibly, mentally, emotionally.
And here, physically.
All the ways one could be. This is fun.
I know.
This is TV for today, as it is today.
Yeah, exactly.
On Zoom.
It's totally different. Actually, we're not Zoom, but it's like Zoom. It's like streaming, so anyway, it's a similar app. But anyway,
it's today, a StreamYard, right? A new fabulous new thing that
it's been around for a little while, but it's just still it's still a baby compared to like Zoom. So if that makes sense, it's still a baby in the game. So, but it's still kind of really coming forward and having a great impact, because you can do a free version and a paid version, and it's so many cool features to it.
And it can go out. It's called StreamYard because it can go out to a bunch of different apps at the same time.
Yes, we're doing it through our Facebook group called Liberty Virtual Solutions, and we're also doing it through my YouTube channel, which is really just Marie Mason. I think I don't have a particular thing for that. So, but for those who might need it, we'll share that in our Facebook, in the pages and stuff like that. So that's
so. If somebody's listening live right now, could they go to your Facebook group and see us right now?
Yes, they can go to our Facebook group at Liberty Virtual Solutions. It is a group versus the page, so let's make sure it's like a purple staged background. So they have to answer two questions, which is, what is it that you want to get out of the group, I think, and then the other one question was, do you want to get on the newsletter, and type real answers, and it'll automatically generate it.
Excuse me, I just went to a look. Here we are. Here we are.
But you can check on the questions then
right
for us. Because
one is what's your email, and the other is what do you want?
Right, exactly. Because I want to know the purpose of what they want to get out of my group. What can I say? I'm kind of nosy like that.
Rebel's doing a very cool directing job. She can zoom each one of us up and back, and
very fancy.
Look, there you go.
So anyway,
I guess that's only what we see. I don't know.
Yeah, we see something different. I don't know if we see the same thing they do.
We do. I'm watching it on my phone. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
All right, Rebel.
Well, Rebel is our wonderful, talented, and amazing radio tech and producer of our show. And she is my right arm. I don't know what I'd do without her. And Dean Piper is the owner of the radio station, who has been coaching me since April and has been an amazing person to help work with and have so much help and stuff like that. So
I'm doing golf match clapping here.
No, that's a new term.
I'm very excited about our show today.
Me too. We have an amazing show with amazing
gals, fabulous women.
I know how to pick them.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I have this knack about. That's why I'm called the networking queen. Okay, that is my new title.
Is that what they call you, the networking queen?
Yep. I have been dubbed the networking queen probably since the 90s.
That's
because
a great
of everything
title.
I've done. Yeah, it's kind of like it's getting catching.
I
am the networking queen. I really am. I love connecting people. It's what I do. So anyway, and that's why I like bringing people on my show, because it's connecting a group of people to my audience. And
that's what you do.
Yep, that's what I love doing. So that's what my hot sweet spot is. So anyway,
hey, look, you can see my gold microphone now.
Ooh,
beautiful gold mic.
Very pretty. Very pretty. So anyway.
Very fancy. All right.
I'm doing my headset tonight because I think that I don't have any idea if my lovely little old mic here, this is my standard old Yeti mic.
Oh, look at that.
I like it, but I don't know if it's going to work with this. So I'm going to go with what I know works, which is this.
Well, you sound great.
So do you. I love the background. So, and y'all getting to see my living room and its finest. I actually cleaned it up for the show because I wanted to make sure it looked nice. So anyway.
Yeah, you're having company, you know.
Yeah, well, exactly. Y'all are coming into my living room. You
might right?
have a nice view. So,
but we
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I will after the show. I didn't have time before the show. I was just busy. But anyway, we do have a great show. I don't want to take too much more time, but
I know we've been fooling around enough.
And you know what? I do want to do a little quick dive on something that we're going to be talking about because this month we are really been focusing on tools that can help automate your business and save you time.
Love that.
Me too. I'm thinking that this month is a great month, and here is why. Be prepared. Around Thanksgiving time, Black Friday deals are not just in stores. They're on software as well. In fact, some of them are actually running them the whole month. Some of them are running them closer to that Black Friday deal. Oh my gosh, I saved so much money.
Big stuff on sale?
Oh, lots of big stuff on sale. And I saved so much money on AppSumo last year. I mean, I went to appsumo.com and I saved lifetime deals on so much software.
What is AppSumo?
Oh, I was going to talk about a different software, which is MeetFox, which I got off of AppSumo. Now, AppSumo, what it does is it offers a whole bunch of different softwares, and they even promote them, and they have their own little skits, and they tell you all the features and all that cool stuff. I call them skits because I don't know what else to call them. They're videos, but I call them skits. They look like skits to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It's my way of thinking. Okay,
I love that. It actually makes it sound much more doable and comfortable and fun.
They do, and they make it fun. They do. That's why I call it a skit because it seems like a skit.
I love that.
So maybe we should I'm going to start remembering this one so I can use it for my marketing.
New terms from Marie.
Skits by Marie. There you go.
This is not a microphone. This is a make your voice louder.
Marie-isms. That's what we're going to start calling
Marie-isms.
Yeah, that's what my husband calls them, Marie-isms. Yeah,
Marie-isms.
Yep. I don't know how he came up with that one day, but he came up with it. So Marie-isms it is. So anyway, but since this month we're going to be focusing on all these automated software tools, one of them is appsumo.com. I did not bring the link for you. I can share that on next week's show.
AppSumo.
It's called
.com. That's pretty simple.
But I'm going to also bring in a special link because that way they can also get some cool stuff from there too because they can get access to it.
Special link. Marie's special link.
Yes, the Marie, and not the Marie-isms. It's the Marie link.
Marie link.
We're going to keep this one.
Actually, Marieism.com might be. Oh, we don't say it. Somebody might go buy it and then try and sell it to you.
They can have it. I don't care if they want it. So I'm not going to get that one. But anyway, so we're going to give that one for free for that one. But anyway, the next software tool I wanted to mention to you is MeetFox. And I'm going to simplify it. It comes with a customized booking page to match your services. Most of these apps do these days, which is awesome because you can put your own branding on it. And then it updates your availability in real time with your Google Calendar and Microsoft connections. It also can automates the SMS. Don't ask me what that stands for. You might know that. Do you know what that is?
I don't know.
I am clueless.
Isn't that something to do with messaging?
I'm thinking it is, but I am so clueless when it comes to some of these things.
MLM, SMS, LMNOP.
Yeah, when they abbreviate like that, it makes no sense to me. I need real words. I'm sorry.
But I want to ask, you said WeekFox, WeekFox?
Meet, M as in Marie, MeetFox.
MeetFox, MEET, I'm assuming, not meat like.
MeetFox.
MEAT.
I'm being silly here right now. But anyway, MeetFox is the name of the app. I'll give you a link to it afterwards and it'll make more sense then. But it also helps email reminders to help avoid those no-shows. So it's like a scheduling app almost. And it's integrated with it's like a website, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I love it because it's
You know what, Marie? What? We have a running thing across the bottom that is saying what we're saying. That is so cool.
I know. Isn't that awesome?
Little things impress me. It's not so little. That's very
It doesn't
neat.
take much to impress me either these days.
I think that's rebel. That's rebel.
Yep, my darling girl is at it again. So anyway.
Just give her another 100 things to do.
Oh, yeah. No, she's awesome.
Oh, by the way, while you're twirling this dish, could you roll this around your foot?
She is talented. I give her that. I don't know how talented she may be doing that. She's probably laughing her head off right now at that
comment. She's probably yelling at us like, get to the guests, would you please?
Pretty much. So let me finish this section up and real quick, and then we can bring up our next guest, because I don't want to take away from Regina's, because she's got an amazing thing. So real quick, if you could
she looks fabulous.
Yep, indeed. So there's some basic offers and stuff like that that are going on right now for Meet Fox. I can't even get into it because I wanted to bring up our next guest. But the link of it is going to be https //app fox.com /authority/register ? And then the word VIA equals Marie. I did not make this up. They
equals gave Marie.
I don't know why they gave me that one. It's just weird. But anyway, I don't know.
I'm putting on some lip gloss for our guest.
Awesome. Well, it should be on down on the screen below. So if they do have any questions, I think it's one of those apps that I think I've sent to them to actually use for the down below. So it should be down there. Super. So and you're probably wondering how all this relates to our topic and episodes.
How does it?
I'm not quite sure. I'm figuring that out as I go along. But anyway, I'm just teasing you there. But anyway, the goal for sharing the software is to help automate those certain features in the business to free up their time so they love to do what they love to do, right? You want to focus on the things you love, right? Oh my gosh, I hope we give our first guest enough time, because she's going to be talking about unstoppable confidence and stuff like that. And so I cannot wait for her to talk about it. So Cheryl, would you like to bring up Regina for us?
I would love to. Everybody, our first guest is an award-winning global speaker. She's a best-selling author and an inner confidence strategist from Washington, DC-Baltimore area. Her name is Regina Robinson, and she's going to talk to us today about owning your confidence, your unstoppable confidence. And she is an example of what she's talking about. When you see her, you're going to see how fabulous she looks and how confident she looks by just showing up. So I am very excited to bring her on. Welcome, Regina Robinson.
Hi, Regina.
Hello, Marie and Cheryl. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here tonight with you ladies on Marketing Mindset Mastery. Thank you for the invite. Hello to all the audience tuning in and watching us. I'm super excited. You ladies have been amazing so far while I was back enjoying your conversation.
Probably laughing too.
We're laughing.
We're adding on the lip gloss. Listen, we're up close.
I want to look good for my guests.
Right. We're not trying to pretend on here. We are real women in real life, real time.
Real.
You got that right.
It's so wonderful to have you here. This is such a great topic. I know so many people, the piece that really stops them is the confidence.
Absolutely.
The confidence. They could have so much knowledge, diplomas and trainings and certifications, and really work well with their clients one-on-one. But when it comes to presenting out in the world, the confidence piece just goes.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be talking about that today. Yes. Unstoppable confidence.
Yes.
We can't wait to hear about it. So anyway, so how can we all have that confidence?
I think what we're missing as women, back in our younger age group, right? When we were growing up, somewhere I say on the playground or at the school playground, another young lady or a young boy who really liked you, didn't know how to tell you they liked you, said you were ugly, said you weren't maybe pretty, right? Or the girl who was jealous of you because you looked better than her, said you weren't pretty or said you couldn't dress. And it started chipping away at our confidence, right? You know, the whole saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names would never hurt me. That is not
Amen.
True. It does down inside your spirit. It does tap in your inner self of who you really are. And so I believe what happens is as we progress as young women growing up, life hits us and it chips away at us. And we have to go back and dig deep on the inside because we're confident on the outside. We show up and we look pretty. You know, I got on my pretty pink coat today and my cute.
You do.
But
go on.
Right. But I had to do the work because I showed up like this before and I wasn't confident. I didn't love myself. So I had to go back and do the work from the inside out. See, it's one thing to have confidence on the outside, but you have to look yourself in the mirror every day. And so when you come home and take off the makeup, the earrings and your hat and your coat and your cute outfit, do you really love who you see in the reflection of the mirror? See, that's the question you got to ask yourself. And that's the work you have to be willing to do. Because when you do that work, everything else will start to align. You will believe more in yourself. You will believe that you are more than enough. You will believe that the failures you have encountered was only trajectories to take you on the journey to your destination on where you're going to arrive to. And then you will realize that you needed that for the strength that you're going to need when you move forward for the next level for what you're going to get in that season. And so it's just about being willing to do the work from the inside out. That's why I say inner confidence strategist, because we all got that outer confidence, but it's only temporary if the inside does not match.
Exactly. I love it.
I'm already revved up.
You know what I've said over the years? I mean, this is what I've said to all my friends growing up. Beauty's only skin deep.
That's
so
right.
If you are only going to look on the outside of the person and not look on the inside of the heart, you're going to miss out on 50% of the person. I'm sorry.
Right. That's right.
Because the outside is just the surface.
Absolutely.
The inside is the soul, and you need to, and that's what I think you're addressing is the soul, the person's soul, and making sure they're happy and with where they're at. And if they're not happy with where they're at, what's the blooming point? I'm just sorry. Go say it bluntly like that. So,
yeah. It's no point, right? It's almost like when you have a boyfriend, you start out in the beginning of the relationship and you're all happy and it's all giddy and it's going great. Then a couple of months in, you're like, oh, they get on my nerves and they just, well, are you really
much later than that?
You just have to tolerate them, right? So I always ask the women that I coach with, are you treating yourself like a boyfriend that you don't want to be bothered with anymore?
How would that look? How does that look if you're doing that?
That means you are actually saying to yourself, you're not giving yourself self-care. You're not giving yourself self-love. You're not encouraging yourself. You're not clapping for yourself anymore. You're not patting yourself on the back anymore. Because, we give great accolades in the beginning of a relationship, right? And then when things start to happen, we pull back on those accolades. Well, that's the same thing we're doing in our life when it comes to our own inner confidence and when it comes to us believing in ourselves.
And we start getting critical instead of cheerical.
Yeah. You have to cheer yourself on, even in the failures, because remember, failure is part of success. You can't be successful if you have not failed.
You're not doing something right if you're not failing.
Yes. Like you're not reaching high enough if you ain't failing.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing I've learned. Anybody who's been in a success position and had a lot of success in their business, they failed more than they succeeded. Yeah. And they had to learn from that failure. And that's the key. I think you hit the nail on the head on that one.
And they stop seeing it as failure and they see it as a learning process for growth. Because how can you grow if you don't have learning tools to help you grow? So those failures is learning tools to help you grow to your next level.
Yeah, you can't, I believe you can't really start achieving until you're in action.
Yeah.
And in action often means trying something new.
That's right.
Trying something new.
Being okay with trying it new, even if you're afraid.
Yep. How does somebody do that? So my phone is, turn your phones off before you go near people.
I have tried to sit there and tell everybody that in the world that knows me well enough that I go on the air every Thursday at 6:00. Do not try to call me. I will not answer.
They still do it, right?
I realize I left some important stuff out of your intro, and I just want to say that you are respected for inspiring your audience through laughter. Love that. And practical principles that empower women to take immediate action, like we're talking about, in their lives and their businesses and their careers. And so we're talking about unstoppable confidence.
Absolutely.
With Regina Robinson. So how would somebody get that unstoppable confidence, that work that you're talking about? What would they do?
So you're going to have to dig deep and discover what it is for you. And so I think that every person is different. So somebody else's model won't be your model. For me, I had to really take time out so I had to get into real prayer. I had to get into fasting and getting in deep down within and asking God to really show me areas I need to work on, really show me areas I was hurting on, right? We're afraid and we're ashamed of our past, but that's part of your story. You only went through it so that you can share it and be courage for someone else to get to the other side, for someone else to have the courage to take the first step and put action to whatever it is they're afraid to do. So literally, when I got to that space, I understood. So you have to get in a space of do the work. It might require you to do daily affirmations. It might require you to do daily meditation. It might require you to have daily prayer. Whatever it is for you, you're going to have to decide what that is. And when I'm coaching with women, every woman is different. And I have to dig deep with them so I can discover what's the best way for them so that they can get their breakthrough, right? Because it's your journey and you want to be able to break the barriers and get your breakthrough, right? Because when you get your breakthrough, now your story becomes your testimony. And your testimony is something you can use so that someone else who might be afraid to take the first step but realize Cheryl or Maria took the first step and started their own radio show. Now they're inspired to now start their own radio show just because they saw Cheryl and Marie do it. But Cheryl and Marie took time. They only see the after effect of what was going on behind the scenes before it happened. And now they're like, okay, but I at least got a little bit of courage to take the first step because it's action that's required. You can't get things done without action. So we must have action.
I just love your energy so much.
Me too.
Okay, you are inspiring just by speaking. But I wanted to ask you something related to you saying that you got into prayer and you asked what you needed to work on. How did that show up for you to know what the thing was? Like how did that appear to you? This is the thing I need to work on. Or was it just like an inspiration that came to you? I need to do this thing.
So what it was I was realizing that I was allowing my past. I was ashamed of things that happened in my past. So I was allowing my past to hold me hostage, right? So I had to really dig deep within that. So I had to go back and ask myself the questions, right? And I had to get coaching myself. Here's the deal. You can't be a coach if you're not coached. So I had to go and get that next step counseling as well. And so I had to really dig deep. And so when you really dig deep, it requires asking uncomfortable questions. So someone says, how do you get deep with people? It requires asking uncomfortable questions. And you have to build a relationship and a rapport enough with a person so they feel comfortable answering questions that are not like necessarily comfortable questions. And so for me, I realized I was tired of being tired. Mm-hmm. I was really at that point where here I was a mother, my daughter's watching me. I'm her inspiration. I'm in the room and I'm crying at night in my pillow because I'm unhappy, or I get in the shower so she can't hear me so that I can get my release. When finally I had to say, okay, wait, there's something got to change. Something has to shift on the inside of me in order for me to be able to do things differently. What I had realized was I had built a strong foundation for business, but the true foundation of my business was crumbling, and that was me. See, we build these strong businesses, but the foundation is us. And if we are not solid, the business will eventually crumble.
You're right, because we have to take care of us on the inside out. One of the things I've been talking to about freelancers, virtual assistants, solo entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches. I've talked to everybody in any industry I could speak, and apparently not at the moment. But anyway, the point is, I always tell them you need to take care of yourself. Yeah. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the people you're trying to serve. That's right. And that's what I think you're trying to point out, is that you have to make sure that you are also part of, you almost have to put yourself on the calendar.
Absolutely.
And give yourself some self-care.
That's right. You can't, here's what I think most women need to hear, because we are servants at heart, but you cannot serve from an empty cup. Yep. So sometimes you have to step back and refill yourself. And then when you get that refill, then you can go forth and empty out again, and then come back and get yourself replenished. And you do that vice versa, back and forth. But don't try and serve from an empty cup, because then you will be doing yourself a disservice and the people you are serving.
Regina, what are your, here we're going to get personal now. What are your self-care strategies? What do you do?
And so for me, I am always for me, it's prayer. For me, it's listening to my inspirational gospel music. It's reading books and scripture. It is really just taking time where I shut everything down. Listen, it's okay to turn your phone off. Put it on do not disturb sometimes.
Yeah, I do when I go to sleep. I shut off.
Right? We have to set boundaries. What are your boundaries so that you can make sure you're whole? Do you have boundaries around you so that you can protect your peace, so that you can be filled with the joy that you need every day? See, that's what you got to seek out, because those things are important, because that's what's going to keep you filled up so that you can pour out.
Boundaries. So important and so hard for many. Yeah. For many, because you feel like, well, that one wants this and this one wants that, and I should and I could, and why don't I? And like you said, then you open it's like you open the boundaries and the horses run out, which is your energy and your joy and your love and your peace.
Well, we are at this last segment for Regina, and she's going to actually got a surprise for us, don't you? I think you had some kind of special surprise you wanted to share.
Yeah. So for all the women, it is women. I know there's men listening in. I know there's men, so I apologize, men, but this really is just for the women tonight for this giveaway. But again, I like to have women to kind of check where you are in your confidence, right? Because that's always important. Kind of like, where is your level of confidence? And so if you text the number and put the word confidence in the text, right, with your name and your email, it's important, with your name and your email, and you text the word confidence, we are going to give you our free inner confidence assessment. And there's a bonus recording that comes along with it where I talk about, are you the driver's seat or the passenger driver in your own life? And that relates to those action and boundaries that we've been talking about. And so the number is 240-681-9024. One more time, 240-681-9024. And you're going to text the word confidence and your email address. And one last time, 240-681-9024. And again, we'll send you our inner confidence assessment and a bonus recording of me teaching on, are you the passenger or are you the driver's seat in your own life? And I hope you'll be the driver and not the passenger.
Well, to me, in my car, it depends on who gets in the car with me. If it's my husband going in with me, he drives my car. If otherwise, I'm the driver. So anyway, there's my funny answer for you for the day. And Regina, thank you so much for being here. You are such a gift. I would love to have you come back on our show, by the way, and do like a whole show on this.
Absolutely.
And a really deep dive on it.
I had an amazing time. Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you so much, Regina. Wonderful energy.
Keep in touch with me. Keep in touch with me, okay? Absolutely. And then in the meantime, we are going to close out this section of this episode, and you can also going to be grabbing it on our page. I promise I will get to updating them soon. I've just been super swamped. And then you'll be able, please take advantage of that gift. And Cheryl, I put that information in the chat. So if you wouldn't mind reading out that phone number to text.
Yes, it is to get the Inner Confidence Assessment from Regina Robinson. Go to 240-681-9024. That's the number that you text, and you send your name and your email, and you will get that Inner Confidence Assessment like that.
Absolutely. And they can follow me on social media. I'm all on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Regina R. Speaks. All over.
Regina R. Speaks. I love that.
Regina R. Speaks. That's an easy one.
So great. So great. Well, I want to thank, do you want me to do this or you want to do it, Marie?
Go for it. You can okay. We're going to close out this segment because we got to go to a commercial break. So
I want to thank Regina Robinson for sharing her valuable tips about your unstoppable inner confidence to help you grow your business here on the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show. And be sure to get Regina's gift at that phone number that we gave you. And you can also find her and her offer at www.reginarobinsonspeaks.com. And if you want to get in touch with her, it's info@reginarobinsonspeaks.com. That's her email. You can also grab that link on our radio page on W4CY.com radio station. You'll be very glad you took advantage of that gift and that you stay in touch with Regina. Isn't she amazing? That energy just got me all like, what can I do now? It's fabulous.
We really appreciate it.
All of the links will be on our radio page after when the replay is up. And that ends this segment of our show. You're listening to the you're listening to the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show with your host, Marie Mason, and I am your co-host, Cheryl Bernstein, and we'll be right back. We are going to a commercial break now.
We're taking a short break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Marketing Mindset Mastery, the show that brings you the top speakers in the marketing and video industry, with your host, Marie Mason. The show is brought to you by Liberty Virtual Solutions. We work with business coaches and speakers to help them market and host their webinars and upsell their coaching programs and develop heart-centered relationships with their audience. Welcome back to the Marketing Mindset Mastery Show with your host, Marie Mason, a premier podcast that helps you master your marketing skills.
Hi, and welcome back to the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show with your host, Marie Mason, and our lovely talented co-host, Cheryl Bernstein.
Hello. Confidence is such a part of everything we do, isn't it?
Confidence is king, I tell you. They always say content is king, but I'm thinking confidence is king.
Well, content may be king, but confidence is queen.
Oh, that's even better. So that's good. We're going to have our own new terms now. Okay, so we don't get any further behind on schedule. Let's bring up our next guest. Her name is Tazeen. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. Tazeen Raza from New York. And Tazeen has several years of professional human resources, HR work experience, initially in recruiting and later transitioning into talent and management, and ultimately being involved in college recruiting, which is really cool. And then her topic today is about job search strategies because, let's face it, this day and age of uncertainty.
So many people are looking
for work. Oh my gosh.
So having strategy, knowing what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Excellent.
We need to have those strategies. So I would love to have Tazeen take it away. So are you here, my dear?
Hello, ladies. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Good to be on the show. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Yeah. I mean, this is you're coming on the first TV version of our show, which is
Trailblazers.
Look at her beautiful space. I always love to see where people are. I love your space with the gray.
Thank you so much.
This is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Pretty flowers.
Yeah. So, I mean, I started out in HR and, I realized that so many people are going through the motions and interviewing and doing all these things, but they're just not getting hired. And, you start when it's closest to home, you start helping your friends and family. And then you're like, hey, is this something that I can do? I just had kids. I wanted to be able to stay home with them, but still be able to do what I love, which is helping people find jobs. So, a year after I had my first baby, I said, I'm going to, try to see if I can help people. So I started helping people pro bono and kind of saw where that took me. And then, this year after COVID, I really saw people struggling, and New York was hit so hard in April. So many people, neighbors, people unemployed. I really wanted to be able to help them at a different level. Be able to, okay, yes, you lost your job. We understand, but what can we do now? How can we move forward? is this even something that you want to do in the future? It's a great time to evaluate and think about those things. Some people are in jobs that they weren't happy to begin with. So what a great time to sit back and think about where your future is. And is this something you want to do for another 10 years? A lot of people here are in that, situation. So I was able to kind of get in there and, dig deep and help people realize what it was that they wanted to do.
Yeah, one of the things that was the best advice that was given to me when I started working, and I was probably between 18 and 20 when I had my first job, and I might have been 17 too because I started kind of young. I started teaching, and I love teaching. Okay, but one of the things that they taught me was look at the people that have been in there for at least 10 years or more, and see what their lifestyle is, see how happy they are, see where they are at, and ask yourself, do you want to be in that same position as they are? And especially if people are like starting out job hunting and never done it before, when you guys go into the jobs, make sure you kind of look at the management, look at the people that are in positions you want to be in, and then assess how their lifestyle is and how it is affecting them and their families.
Absolutely.
That's just something that I just, while you were talking, just made sense to me to say that because, I don't know if you've experienced it. Have you gone into a job yourself, for example? Or
Oh,
even
absolutely.
Cheryl, even have either one of you gone to a job and you like looked at how people were, whether they were happy or unhappy, and you could tell who was thriving in this and who wanted to exit stage left as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you see people, in corporate New York, people are pretty miserable. And, as you look at them, there are jobs that people are happy in. And, in HR, I really felt that it was one of those jobs. There wasn't one day that I dreaded going to work.
Oh
No.
my goodness.
And that's how you know that, that's what you want to do. So, I really wanted to be able to give people back what I learned. And at a lower level, at a level where it's like help the community first.
right.
So,
can we talk about strengths and weaknesses? I think this is such an important topic, strengths and weaknesses, because some people may try and fake their strengths, which is only going to get you in trouble. How can somebody know, or how do you help your clients to recognize what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and then what do you do with those weaknesses?
Yeah.
I think ultimately everybody knows their strength right off the bat. Okay, I'm great at this. I'm great at this. It's the weaknesses that you really have to draw it out. Okay, so tell me about a time. And I think as you ask them situational behavioral questions is really how I dig deep on finding out what it is that their weakness is. Okay, well, tell me about a boss that you had trouble working with. Okay, some people are like, well, I have trouble taking feedback. The weakness is not as important. It's what you did with it. So, a lot of people will come and say, okay, this is my weakness, but how do I turn that around? And I said, you can say whatever weakness you want to say in an interview, but it's not what they're looking for. They're looking for what you did with that weakness. Great, I know this is my weakness. I know I'm always late. I set up 2 timers now, and now, I've been able to resolve this because of this. I'm very cognizant that I'm always late, just as an example. So, it's not about what the weakness is. It can be anything, but it's how you get to the resolution. How did you fix this?
Right. That's a perfect point.
But if they don't know, if there isn't some written thing that says Marie was always late, do you even bring it up? You just don't speak.
Well, I think, I've been known to be very direct with anybody that comes through my door, because if I can't give you direct feedback, nothing is going to work for you. So I kind of ask the questions that are uncomfortable to ask to get the answer. So that way I can help them understand, okay, well, maybe this is what it was. Nobody's going to tell you their weakness flat out. This is my weakness. You really have to draw it out by asking different questions in different ways, and then kind of make your own deduction. Okay, this is probably what it was.
And then in your job search, if they're on the job search, do you mention your weaknesses there?
Well, I think that it's important in an interview, and this is a very common question. It's one of the top 5 questions that is asked in an interview: strengths and weaknesses. And my one thing that I tell people, don't know anything, just study the job, but at least know your strengths and weaknesses, because this is a common question and it could be asked. Better to just know and have something to say. So, some people will say, I can't take direction easily. And I realized that this was my problem. Now I've been able to fix it, XYZ. I think people are pretty good at knowing what their weaknesses are, but they're very reluctant on telling anybody that. Right.
So basically, in summary, you need to take what's your weakness on and put a positive spin on it and make it your biggest strength, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Not just make your biggest strength. You can lay it out as a weakness. Yeah, because they'll ask you, what's your weakness? What would you say is your weakness? What would you say a boss would tell you that you could work on? I think it's important to say whatever your weakness is. And people are very good at knowing what their shortcomings are. They just don't want to tell you. But I think the important part is to get people comfortable. I'm your coach. If you don't tell me what you think your shortcomings are, how can I help you? So I think that right off the get-go, I make sure that my clients feel very comfortable that whatever they tell me, my goal is just to help you get that job, to make you better. And if you don't tell me what your weaknesses are, and if you don't help me get there, there's no way, there's no open communication. I can't help you from there, And I have refused a lot of clients that kind of don't have that open dialogue. And I'm like, look, this might work for you with someone else, but for me to have you help you, and my goal is to get you hired. If I can't get you hired, then why are we wasting time here? So I make sure that any clients that I do take on are able to give me that open dialogue that I'm asking for.
That's brilliant.
If somebody's looking for a job right now, somebody listening, are there search engines they should use? Are there what are ways to even look to start?
So a lot of people are in this position, Cheryl, these days. 20 years later, I'm looking for a job. I haven't looked for a job in 20 years. Where do I go? This is a common question. And a lot of people, I would say 5 years ago, used to use Indeed. It's still very good. You can still use Indeed. But my first thing would be get your LinkedIn profile updated. People are getting jobs through LinkedIn. Connection to connection to connection. That is the way people are getting hired right now. If your LinkedIn is not updated, chances of you getting a job are 30% less. Don't have a profile picture, 40% less. So these are small things and small nuances that people who were looking for jobs 10 years ago might not know now. Another search engine that you can use is ZipRecruiter. It's great because you can put in the types of jobs you're looking for. So it'll alert you, okay, great, there's a new job that matches your alert. Do you want to apply for this position? And everything is saved in there. So it kind of doesn't waste that much time to, apply to all of these roles. But of course, you should just apply to the roles that you are qualified for. Don't apply to like a director of marketing when you've never done marketing. Logic,
I have had people tell me, you should apply for that job. I'm really, but I don't have enough experience in it. Why would I apply to that? And now I know why. Because, you don't want to sit there and because it affects your self-esteem if you apply to a job and it's not in your skill set and then you don't get it. And then, or even if you do, it isn't your skill. And if you do have the skill sets and you apply for it, it also affects your self-esteem if you're rejected. So that's something. Before we get into that question, which is how do you handle rejection, I did want to say something that it's in this industry, it's all about almost who you know rather than almost what you know, because you can always learn along the job. Yeah. So that's another. But how do you handle rejection?
Before we get into rejection, I wanted to ask, is that something that you help your clients with in their profile, and what is a good picture and how to get all that stuff shipshape?
That's a great question, Cheryl. I have a whole video on my website just about how to take a LinkedIn picture, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. You want to put your best foot forward. You don't want to have cropping other people out of the picture. These things are not professional.
Black dots on their face.
Exactly. You don't want to do all that stuff, right? This is a professional picture. It's not Facebook. We want to put your professional self forward, not your Facebook self, not your Instagram self. So I think there's a lot of ways that people kind of fall short when it comes to just the LinkedIn picture. Is this somebody that you're going to want to hire? If somebody has a beautiful smiling face, that looks like somebody I want to work with, versus somebody who's like taking a picture like this. I don't know what that person, I don't want to hire that person. They don't look like somebody I would want to work with. So I think these small things are super important, and people don't realize how important they are. It's just your first step. I saw her picture. Oh yeah, she looks nice. Let's give her a shot.
That's cool. And that video is on your website at Tazeen Raza, TazeenRaza.com.
Yep.
I just know people are already going, how do I see that? Where do I see
and there's a lot of good videos on there, just about LinkedIn, just about creating resumes, just small, like little tidbits that somebody who might be starting out might be helpful for them.
Right. Great. Well, we're the last 4 minutes. I don't know if you have time. Can you give us one quick tip about how you can handle rejection? And then you have an offer you wanted to share.
Yes. I would say rejection is tough on everybody. At every level, it is very difficult to kind of get over that. But you need to think back and say, what did I do right here? Because sometimes it's not about the person. It's not about you. Maybe they had somebody else in mind already. We don't know what's happening on the back end. So when we kind of tell ourselves what worked well here, what could I have done better? That's the best way to move forward. You write down what went well, what you could have worked on, and then the next time you work on those things. Okay, I didn't answer this question better. Let me research this a little bit more so I can move forward. Every time you'll get better and better. That's all.
That's fantastic. I really want to say thank you for being here. You have been a fantastic guest. I hope you get to come back again because, hey, maybe we could do some segments in the next season, like
I would love to.
The holidays,
Anytime, Marie.
And
I can tell you have a lot to offer someone who is in a job search, to go about it the right way, to use the good strategy, to put their best self forward.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure, like in anything, it's being authentic, but being confident.
Definitely.
So now you had was that the offer you wanted to share earlier?
I'm offering anybody who comes through the website, mention Marie, mention Cheryl, giving them 10% off any of my services, resume, LinkedIn, you name it, whatever you want, 10% off.
Beautiful.
Sure. Happy to help anyone.
TazeenRaza.com, TazeenRaza.com. And I think it's going across the bottom. No.
Yes. No, I did not put those in there. I don't know if we did or not. So anyway, I think I just put certain ones in there. So I just want to really thank Tazeen for really sharing some valuable tips to help our audience grow their business. Now, in this particular case, it's actually finding a job, because sometimes when you're starting a business, you actually have to have a job to support your family while you're building a business to get started. That's just something I wanted to make sure that people were aware of. And that's why I brought Tazeen on the show. So Tazeen's topic was about job search strategies, which were fantastic, and even how to handle all those rejections.
And a job doesn't mean full-time 9 to 5. A job could be a couple days a week, a couple hours a day.
Part-time.
Anything.
Part-time. Yeah, anything to bring a little bit of money while you're waiting for your business to grow. So anyway, I really want to encourage you to take advantage of our offer. And Cheryl, you want to take it from here about what that is again and say that website again?
The website is TazeenRaza.com, TazeenRaza.com. You mentioned Marie, you mentioned me, Cheryl, and 10% off any service that you want. All services, get them all. Get everything.
Take advantage of it. Go ahead, Cheryl.
And I want to thank Tazeen Raza for sharing her valuable tips to help you grow your business and find a job on the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show. We were talking about job search strategies with Tazeen Raza. And I want to encourage you to take advantage of her offer again at www.tazeenraza.com. Mention the show and you'll get 10% off of every service that you would like. You can also grab the link on our radio page at W4CY.com radio station. You'll be very glad you took advantage of the gift. And all of the links will be on the radio page for you to check out and take advantage of. Join us again for our next episode for great tips, ideas, and how-tos to make your marketing and your mindset work for you. We're here every Thursday live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time right here on W4CY Radio and also now on TV. Woo-hoo. Until next time, this is Cheryl Bernstein with your host, Marie Mason, saying goodbye for now from Marketing Mindset Mastery. And this ends this week's show. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye.
Go to our radio page and check out the gifts from our speakers. We'll see you next time on Marketing Mindset Mastery with your host, Marie Mason.